Bitcoin has been breaking down heavily recently, and we do have a change of structure. Looking at social media, it does seem like people are rather bearish on Bitcoin and the crypto market as a whole. But what does technical analysis actually tell us about Bitcoin and the overall crypto market? In today's video, I'm going to break it down for you. We're going to look at Bitcoin and we're going to look at a few altcoins to help you understand if we are in the bear market or not. Welcome everyone to RLZ Trading. I'm Jonathan Andin, a full-time crypto and forex trader. Before we dive into our analysis of Bitcoin, I have some exciting news to share. The RLZ Slingshot indicator is now available for free. That's right, you can gain access to this tool for free thanks to our friends over at Prime XBT. Simply sign up to Prime XBT using the link in the description of this video and then join the RLZ trading community, also completely free. And then once you are in, you will receive instructions on how to access the indicator. All right, so let's begin with Bitcoin here. We have a Bitcoin on a completely clean chart here. The only thing I have is the RLZ Slingshot indicator on. This is now on the weekly time frame. And what I wanted to show you here is, first of all, we got that blue line right there. That's the weekly 20 EMA. We can put a line on right there. So you see, that's the weekly 20 EMA. Another thing I wanted to show you is the fib levels that get drawn using that low and this high. We're going to be switching it to the RLZ plus 50% template right here, extend it a bit to the right. Now, what do we see here? Well, what we see is obviously we see a very strong confluence here with the 50% fib of the latest high time frame push to the upside with the 20 EMA on the weekly. Now, the 20 EMA on the weekly for Bitcoin is something I like to look at as the bull market support, if you will, because a lot of times in strong bull markets for Bitcoin, when you have heavy pullbacks to the downside, which also occurs regularly after the halving, like what you saw, you do see usually a move back down to around the weekly 20 EMA. If we are still in a bull market, this is where we want to bounce. But do we have any horizontal levels that would be in alignment with this level? And I do think we have some really good looking levels here. If we move all the way to the right here, if I use the rectangle tool here in TradingView, I select these candle closes right here and this one right here and extend it to the right. Let's go into the daily chart as well to make sure that we get a clean level here. Does this look good on the daily? Let's look at the line chart as well to get a cleaner picture. And I do think that, you know, you can look at this and say that we had a strong rejection of that as resistance, fake out, strong rejection, resistance, and then we kind of have strong reactions to this level. So this is definitely a very valid level on the daily. Looking at the line chart, also looking at the candlestick chart, it kind of makes sense with the candle closes as well. So we take this level and then we move that one all the way over to the right where we have the current prices. Where are we trading right now? We're testing that level perfectly right now. Let's switch back to the weekly. So what happened now on the weekly is we've actually came down. We had a wick down to the almost touching the 50% fib right there, and that wick testing the weekly 20 EMA. Going into the daily, we see that we did had a nice test of the weekly 20 EMA. What I would say would be a very bullish scenario for Bitcoin is if we can reclaim these lows right here, because honestly, looking at Bitcoin right now, we do have lower highs and lower lows on the daily after breaking a pretty significant range right here. So you can see that that would be the range. Let's remove these levels to make it a little bit more clearer for you guys. So that is the previous range. Now, interesting enough, you can see the monthly open on the RLZ Slingshot indicator here as well. You add a zone, something like this, that would mark the low of the previous range. If we can get a reclaim of the previous range range lows, maybe come up something like this and reclaim it, I would say that that would be highly bullish for Bitcoin, and that would mean that we have come down, we have hit that bull market support, which is the weekly 20 EMA. We've hit that with a nice wick on the weekly, and then we reclaimed the previous range here. That would be very bullish for Bitcoin. But what happens if we get rejected here? Okay, well, that would be bearish, obviously. What if we come up here and we test that level as resistance? Then what happens? Okay, where is the next support below? If we do get a rejection like this, you can also add a trend line here, and see that that is a pretty clean trend line. We might come up and test that trend line area, see a rejection and come down lower. You can also see now on the daily that this is the first time in quite a while that we see the daily 20 EMA below the 50 EMA. So yes, we are definitely seeing bearish signs right here, but the fact that we bounce on the weekly 20 EMA is a good sign, and if we can reclaim the previous range lows after touching that weekly 20 EMA, it's fairly bullish, right? But what would be a very bearish scenario? Well, break and retest is going to happen here, and if we do not reclaim this level as support, we're probably going lower. Well, where is that level lower? We might have a retest of the weekly 20 EMA, which is going to be that low. But what if we break that weekly 20 EMA to the downside? Well, that is when I would say we definitely enter the danger zone. But we do actually have some very strong and fairly good looking support levels here to the downside. So we can make a big zone out of this whole area right here, and you see that that is a fairly good support level. Okay, so down around 44,500 ish, so 44.5k is where I would look at Bitcoin as a very strong support if we do drop lower. So let's see if I can add that. So where do we have anything that is in conflict with that level? Well, we do have the weekly 50 EMA, so that's the next level. If we lose the weekly 20 EMA for Bitcoin, I am looking towards the weekly 50 EMA as support. Now, if we look at from the top here all the way down to that level, that is a 40% drop. Yes, if Bitcoin drops down here, drops below the weekly 20 EMA, I would say that we are in a local downtrend. But are we in a bear market? I would say no, we are not in a obvious bear market unless we break below 44.5k and we break below the weekly 50 EMA. So right now we are still in a high time frame bull market, I would say. And if you look at this level right here, you can just add a big level just like that. I mean, imagine if we reclaim that level. This looks super strong and it looks super bullish. So on the higher time frames, looking at the overall picture, Bitcoin is still very bullish. Yes, if we lose the weekly 20 EMA, we might enter the danger zone, if we will, of a potential bear market. But even a drop of 40% is not uncommon or unheard of from Bitcoin in a bull market. But what about Ethereum, the largest altcoin? Well, let's take a look at Ethereum here from a weekly perspective. And what we're seeing right now is Ethereum is actually hovering around the weekly 20 EMA right here. So that's the weekly 20 EMA. And what I really like about Ethereum here is the fact that if we do get that drop from Bitcoin down to the weekly 50 EMA, which would be probably a drop down to the weekly 50 on Ethereum as well, look at what level we've hit on Ethereum right here. That wick keeps coming down and testing the reload zone, testing the 0.618 right here. And if this weekly candle closes above the weekly 20 EMA, that would be super bullish for Ethereum, and this is most likely a very strong support area. We might dip lower into reload zone, maybe even have a wick hitting the weekly 50 EMA, but overall the structure here looks very good. So what would be the bullish scenario for Ethereum? The most bullish scenario for Ethereum would basically be to just reclaim this level, reclaim the daily 20 and 50 EMA, reclaim this weekly open right here, and this level where you have the high being 3,270. Reclaim that level and everything's good for Ethereum, and we also have that daily double bottom if that happens as well. So everything looks very good for Ethereum, I would say. So there's no reason to panic if you are a long-term holder of Ethereum and or Bitcoin. Everything looks good here. Ethereum looks on the bigger picture very bullish, and the same goes for Bitcoin. All right, so now let's take a look at Solana, everyone's favorite altcoin. The same thing goes for Solana. This is very bullish. Okay, you can see, you can add from that low all the way to that high. What level level do we keep on testing for Solana? Well, it's the reload zone, the middle of the reload zone. What do we have in the middle of the reload zone? Well, I would say that we have a pretty decent support level right here. So we are hitting the weekly 20 EMA. There's no weekly candle close below the weekly 20 EMA. We have wicks coming into the reload zone, perfect support. I mean, this is a very, very good level to be a buyer of Solana or Sol. So I would say that the crypto market right now, with the high level of fear that we see in the market right now, maybe this is actually a good time to start looking at filling up on those long-term positions. You know, that saying, buy when there's blood in the street. Well, if you go through social media, you're seeing people kind of panicking. They're asking questions, are we in a bull? Are we in the bear market? Are we in the bear market? We are not in a bear market, clearly, for the crypto market, and these levels might actually be the level that you should be buying. You're supposed to be buying that fear. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, and this channel is not for financial advice. I'm not telling you that you should go and buy Bitcoin and Ethereum right now, but I'm just saying that if you are looking to buy these assets, and if I were a financial advisor and I had to tell you, you know, to invest in something, well, you know, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and all of that, it's actually pretty good levels. If you like these short updates on the crypto market, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you want access to the RLZ slingshot indicator, as you can see right here on the screen, it will give you automated buy and sell signals as well. All you have to do is sign up to Prime XBT using the link in the description below, join the RLZ trading community for free, and get further instructions in there. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.